friends. It's Wink here again, reporting in. This is my journal entry number 7, vlog number 7. This is going to be a little bit more detailed one. Okay, so this is days 49 through 56. And these are my days through the Sierra Nevada and over many passes. So I'm going to try to label or name the passes. In the videos, I'm also going to put up the names of passes and the elevation. But basically, this year has totally changed the game of how I hiked, because the rule of thumb when crossing these snowy passes is to always cross them early. The reason you want to cross a mountain pass early is so then you can walk on top of the snow and not have your feet pushed down in what they call post hole. So if you wait till the afternoon and the snow softens because of the sun, then it can lead to this post holing, which you can go very, very slow. You can be up into your hip, and it can be very cold. You can post hole, your feet will go into icy water underneath in these streams. So anyways, if I mention post holing now, you know what I mean. On day 49, it was a slow and short day. This is the day after I just summited Mount Whitney. And so I wanted to take it easy. I also wanted to, follow that rule of thumb about passes. So I hiked only 8 miles to the feet of Forester Pass. The cool thing about Forester Pass is it's the tallest point of the PCT, 3,000 plus feet. And so I was really excited but nervous. I'd never done a pass, and it was going to be the tallest one. So just 8 miles, but beautiful stream. It was a nice day. So day 50. I woke up at 3 in the morning because I wanted to summit. I wanted to go over Forester Pass and Glen Pass, but I didn't want to get there in the afternoon to post hole. So started at 3 in the morning, started going up the side of Forester right as light was appearing at 5 in the morning. Cool evening or morning hike with my headlamp on up to Forester Pass, hit some snow, put on my micro spikes for the first time. It was a breeze. It wasn't that hard getting up, and it was just super exciting to get up to the top. I have a video of the last little bits of me hiking up and just seeing the sunlight of the early morning over Forester Pass, and it was so cool knowing that I was at the very top of the PCT trail. So really cool day 50. Hike with an ice axe is so then if you slip on the snow, then you can use it as a brake and dig in and what's called self-arrest. So I had an ice axe. I didn't need to self-arrest at all, but I used it as a little cane as I walked on the snow. So that was really cool. Made it down Forester, and then I hiked through the once you come down, there's lots of beautiful rivers, and you're in what's known as Kings Canyon, and it is gorgeous. It's the prettiest thing, and it's well named. Really enjoyed that hiking. Got to Glen Pass early afternoon, so I wasn't totally breaking the rule, and I summited and also got down Glen Pass that same day, and it was also equally really beautiful. A little tricky coming down, but I didn't post hill very much, so it was still all right. Day 51, I began to really notice that if you stand still around these water sources, these are the first lakes and everything that we're used to. So I was these were the first mosquitoes that I was encountering on trail. So I really became frustrated. I got to camp at 4, thinking I was going to be able to rest and lay by the lake, and then I was just swarmed with mosquitoes. So anyways, I've since adjusted a little bit of the strategies how I deal with mosquitoes, but anyways, it's the beginning of it. But day 51, it was the day that I summited Pinchot Pass, and I had this thought, and I wrote this down in my notes, that this was my 3rd pass, and I had so much anxiety and anticipation about the passes. But as I was going up Pinchot, I just remember thinking how cool it was, and how something that I was afraid of became something that was my favorite part of the Sierras. So anyways, really cool. Okay, day 52, that was the day that I went over Mather Pass. I started early, but coming down it was pretty tricky. It was actually the first time that I had to use my ice axe. I didn't have to self-arrest, but it was steep enough that like if I would have slipped, I would have needed to self-arrest. That was when I actually met Kat, who I ended up hiking with after that, and we kind of descended together. She was moving really fast, and she was doing 28 miles a day since the beginning of the trail. So she had the goal of doing 100 miles, doing the trail, in 100 days. So she was really fun to hike with, and also helped me go a little quicker. We hiked through the rest of the day, and we got to Muir Pass by 3:30. So now we're at this point where we had to make a decision if we were going to go over or camp that night. And I know the rule of thumb was always to start passes early, but I just wanted to see what it was going to be like. So we just went for it, and we went over Muir Pass. It was a snowfield. It took us much longer. So it was 3:30, and I was thinking, okay, we have over 4 hours of daylight. We should be able to do this easy peasy. But it was snowfields all the way to the top, it seemed like. And so it took us 2 hours to get to the top. It did actually have a hut at the top of Muir Pass, so we could have just stopped and stayed at the hut, but we weren't really thinking. It was 5:30 now, and we had snowfields. I think it was like 5 more miles of snowfields, so we weren't going to make it through, but we tried. So we started going down, and that's when we started post-holing the whole way down. It was just super hard work, and it was really cold because when we had post-holed down into the snow, our feet would get icy wet. So it was really cold and hard. But anyways, Muir Pass was really beautiful and a cool hike, and it was fun. So Kat and I found a dry place, and we ended up cowboy camping with no tent, just a ground cloth and our sleeping bags, and found a dry place. So we only got a mile down out of the pass, ended up cowboy camping, but it was nice. We were able to dry off before we went to bed. Day 53. So we awoke, from cowboy camping with ice on our bags, but it was fine. We hiked out of that snowy pass, kept going. I actually wrote down, I started listening to Serial, the podcast, so that really it was pretty entertaining. And I still was battling with mosquitoes, but it was still really beautiful. The whole Sierra section, just breathtaking. Day 54, we crossed Selden Pass in the morning. Oh yeah. So after we crossed Selden Pass, it was a smaller pass, not a kind of a big deal. Then I went to the bathroom, and then like a quarter mile after leaving where I went to the bathroom, I felt to check my phone, to check the map, and I didn't have my phone in my pocket. And so I didn't have it on my backpack. And so I knew I had left it where I went to the bathroom, somewhere in the woods. So I walked the quarter mile back, and I actually hiked right back toward the tree that I went to the bathroom. And there it was, my phone laying on the ground. So recovered my phone, and then I hiked to go catch back up with Kat. So when I caught back up with her, she was at a big stream crossing. What is it called? I think this one was called Bear Crossing. Anyways, it was supposed to be a big stream crossing where we'd have to ford across it. Didn't end up being that deep, maybe thigh depth, and we were able to cross it pretty easily. So we did those forges, and that was pretty fun. End of day 54, it was lunchtime, and we had to decide if we were going to take this side route to this resort called VVR, which is a place on the west side of Edison Lake. You can catch a ride in by a ferry, a boat, but only at 9:45 and at 4:45, and it was 11. So Kat decided to take one route, but she would miss some PCT miles, but she didn't care because she already did that trail on the JMT last year. But I wanted to do it all. So I hiked the 3 miles up trail, and then I grabbed another trail to go hike 6.5 miles around Edison Lake to VVR. Kat just took a direct trail 5 or 6 miles. So we kind of raced there. She beat me by an hour, but I still was moving pretty fast. And so we got there. She picked up a resupply box at VVR, and I just ate donuts and drank soda. I bought them there, and it was fun. And then I was there for an hour and a half, then we caught the 4 o'clock ferry back to the trail. and then hiked a little bit further, so then we'd be in striking distance of Reds Meadow the next day. So day 55, we were 24 miles away from Reds Meadow. Reds Meadow is near Devil's Postpile in Mammoth. So if we would get to Reds Meadow, then we could take a bus into Mammoth and take our break. So we hiked quick and fast. Beautiful day. Again, it was sort of sad because we could see the scenery changing, and it kind of seemed like this was the beginning and the end of the Sierra section. But it was a nice day. We made it to Reds Meadow late afternoon, and we caught the bus in. It was really crowded, but we did end up getting to be able to split a room at a Motel 6. So I had the glorious position of sleeping on my mat in a Motel 6. And it was fine because I was like super happy to be inside and to be at Mammoth. So Mammoth was really nice. So day 56 was a 0 day, 0 miles on the PCT that day. It was a Sunday, so I got to go to church there at St. Joseph's, and I was able to do laundry and clean up. So anyways, that's my recap. Hope you enjoyed the videos.